And we're back. I had to take a quick break to assemble my dummy cartridges for the function checks with dummy cartridges. I like to load those magazines right before the check whenever I'm running cartridges through a firearm and pressing the trigger. I like to really make sure that they are indeed dummy cartridges. So let me do that first. I'm going to load 4 rounds into one of these Beretta 92 mags. You could do this with more, but just for demonstration purposes, that will be fine. Okay, so I pick up the firearm, slide's already locked to the rear, magazine is already out, but I'm still going to visually and physically check to make sure that this firearm is clear. And it is. So first, checking the functioning of an empty magazine. I take an empty Beretta 92 magazine, insert it into the magazine well, give it a tug, make sure it locks, and it does. Cycle the action, and it locks open on an empty magazine, as it should. Depress the magazine release, and it drops free. Perfect on the unloaded magazine. Now, I insert a magazine with the dummy cartridges. Make sure that it locks in nice and tight. Cycle the action, and it should have chambered around. Easy way to check this, do a pinch check, and I can see that the round has chambered, so far so good. So to do this, I'm going to have to take the safety off and press a double action shot. Cycle the action. And, well, a couple things. It ejected as it's supposed to, no problem. But notice that it decocked. This is very easy to do with the Beretta. With the safety decocker is to knock the safety back on if you're manually cycling the slide, and that's what I did here. So I can do a single action reset, but it's not going to fire. I can do a double action reset and it still won't fire because the safety's on. This is why a lot of people prefer the G conversion and don't like running the safety decocker. Okay, so I'll take the safety off. Now I can press a double action shot. I'll see if I can cycle the slide. Without knocking the safety back on, and I did. It cycled out the chambered round, single action reset, and fire, double action reset, and fire. Cycle the action again. I did it again, knocked the safety off, so I'll have to put the safety back on. I can do a double action reset, see if I can get this at least once more. No, and it locks back on the last round. Empty magazine as it should. Depress the magazine release, and it ejects the magazine. So the gun is functioning fine. As long as I don't knock the safety back on, this is going to function as it's intended. So we're good on the Beretta 92. Now this RB6, load up a few rounds for this, is going to be exactly the same with the difference. There is no safety decocker, it's only a safety, so I'm not going to have the issue accidentally decocking that I did with the Beretta. So again, visually and physically inspect. This firearm is clear. And take the safety off. Well, let's leave the safety on for right now. First, we're going to test the empty magazine. Run it in. Make sure it locks in nice and tight. Cycle the slide. Locks open, as it should on an empty magazine. And press the magazine release, and it drops free. Perfect. Drop the slide and insert magazine with the dummy rounds. Again, make sure that locks in nice and tight. Cycle the action and do a pinch check, and I can see that it chambered around. Outstanding. Take the safety off. Press the trigger. Cycle the action. I see it ejected around and it chambered around. Reset. Press. Good. Hammer drops. Double action reset. And it cocks in. Releases the hammer as well, and I induced a malfunction. I didn't pull this back quite far enough, and I could feel that. On the B6, and I'm not real fond of this, it's just a really small area, surface area to grab here. Listen to me making excuses, but this is my fault, not the B6, and it's important to be able to recognize that. So we'll just try that one more time, shall we? So, and it locks back on the last round as it should. Magazine drops free. So, only malfunction there was a Scott malfunction. The 1911. So let me first load one of these magazines with a few dummy rounds. Visually and physically make sure that chamber and feed source are clear, and this is good to go. I'm going to insert an empty magazine, make sure it locks in good and tight. Cycle the action, locks on an empty magazine as it should, drops free as it should. See a pattern here? Again, these are very, very similar. Drop the slide, and I'll put the safety on for the moment here. Take my magazine with dummy rounds and insert that. Make sure it locks in good and tight. I can't cycle this with the safety on, so I take the safety off and cycle it. Now I'm going to do a pinch check, and I see that a rounded chamber, no problem there. Take the safety off again, and hammer falls, and it cycles, chambered around. Nice reset. Locks back on the last round as it should. Magazine drops free the way that it's supposed to. Can you tell which of these pistols I'm most familiar with and use the most? Would be the 1911. But all of these are functioning as they should. And it's a good point to realize when it's the firearm malfunctioning or whether it's operator induced, as we had with me in the SAR. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out and contact me. That is what I'm here for.